Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dumb Laws from the Grave. I'm your host, Grave Knives, coming to you from the Graves Court today. Today, we're going to be checking out another state's dumb laws, another list, a round two for another state. So, what are we going to find here? We're going to find a lot of stuff, but I want you to keep in mind that everything we do find, that most of it's going to be outdated. Some of it's going to be opinionated. Some of it's going to be exaggerated, even as much as possibly fabricated. So don't get too upset, because even the ones that have legitimacy to them, probably not enforced. Almost like a 99% guarantee not to be enforced in any way. But we're still going to go through them. We're going to check them out. We're going to dissect them. So with that all being said, thank you for coming and checking it out. Now let's see what they got. Alright, so getting us started with Colorado here. We got snowball fights are illegal. Apparently snowball fights are fucking illegal. Let's see what we got. Unlawful to throw stones, snowballs, or discharge guns or other missiles. Missiles, we'll get to that in just a second. It shall be unlawful for any person to throw any stone, snowball, or other missile, or discharge any bow, blowgun, slingshot, gun, catapult, or other device upon or at any vehicle, building, or other public or private property, or upon or at any person, or in any public way or place which is public in nature. First off, well, I'll tackle this missile thing here for you. If you don't remember, we've had this one before. Missiles are just something general that it's a term that they use. Anything that can be launched, whether it be from your hand, a slingshot, a catapult, or a gun, I guess. Or hell, an ICBM pad. That counts too, I guess. No shooting rockets. But for the most part, yeah. Apparently, snowballs are illegal. They're apparently, according to this, they're looped into that whole missile dangerous thing, whatever. Public urination is prohibited. How's that a dumb law? Public urination and defecation unlawful. It shall be unlawful for any person to urinate or defecate in any public place or in any place within public view other than a toilet facility provided for such purpose. A place within public view is any place where conduct by a person reasonably may be expected to be open to view by members of the public. A public place is a place which the public or a substantial number of the public has access, such as, but without limiting the generality of the foregoing, streets, alleys, schools, places of amusement, parks, playgrounds, the common areas of private buildings and facilities, as well as such areas of public buildings and facilities. So, like a bathroom in a park, porta potty, these are okay. They don't want you. So according to this, it's frowned upon if you pinch one off hanging off of the while you're hanging off of the fucking mailbox. And that's a dumb law. How's that a dumb fucking law? Maybe it's a dumb law because it's dumb because they had to fucking make it a law to tell people, hey, don't shit on the freaking sidewalk, or we're gonna give you a ticket for it. And that's probably about it. You got a ticket, depending on where your location is. If you're more towards that school area, you're going to get more than a ticket, but whatever. That's your choice, I guess, if you're stupid enough and an asshole enough to fucking do something like that. There's bathrooms all over the place, I understand that sometimes, there are moments of where it's like you have no choice, but there's just some people where they're like, nah, I'm taking a squat right here. It is unlawful to walk under a ladder. I don't believe it, not even for a second. What? It is against the law for children over the age of 8 to wet the bed. Okay, obviously they don't elaborate on this one either, but Possibly, maybe at one point in time, there was some type of a religious-based law to where, like, if a child continued to wet the bed or something, the parents would be punished. I mean, I don't think that the child themselves would be punished, but I can imagine seeing that do nothing. I mean, if that was such a law, mounting stress against an already probably, child with dealing with bedwetting, so you're going to piss the parents off, so they'll be pissed off at the kid. Yeah, there you go. That'll help. Anyways, logic, I don't know. Actually, I think the latter is more believable than the bedwetter, but it is illegal to stutter on a Sunday during a church service. Why? Is the devil getting your tongue or something there? Oh, my brother, now I hear that you're here for the word of God, but that foul devil, he be taking your tongue. I can hear it. If that devil's taking your tongue, how can you give me that $1,000 this month? I don't know, Mike Murdoch style, I guess. Cats that meow in the dark will have their tails chopped off. But what? Are they talking just strays? Are they talking private cats? Hey, we heard your cat meowing last night. We're here to take its tail. Now, I mean, I could see like them doing it with strays or something. Oddly enough, do I think it's right? No, I think it's fucking wrong to mutilate an animal for whatever reason, whether you're cropping a dog's ears or tail, whether it be a cat, I don't care. You're mutilating an animal, if you're going to do that, fair game only, take at least a few digits off one of your hands for that shit. No one may keep junk close to someone else. It sounds ridiculous. The storing or keeping up by any person within the town of any old articles or materials which are classified as junk adjacent to or in close proximity to any public building, public park or grounds, business buildings or residence without first providing fully enclosed buildings for the storage of the same shall be deemed public nuisance. It is specifically provided that trash, garbage and refuse containers, barrels, and cans must be obscured from view and not accessible to scavenging animals. It is further specifically provided that junk, as referred to in this chapter, shall be expressly deemed to include, without limitations, any motor vehicle that is incapable of operation under its own power. A motor vehicle shall be presumed incapable of operation if it has remained in one location for a period in excess for 30 days. Okay, so pretty simple. They're telling you don't clutter your yard. And here's another thing. Now, they're not saying towns again. They haven't been saying any towns from the very beginning, or whether it be a town, city, county, state, whatever. It's not specifying the law. This definitely does sound more like a town law. And this is a city law, if you will, and I can see that. I absolutely can see that reasonably. I mean, if you live out in the country and, your nearest neighbor's a half mile away, do what the fuck you want with your land and your property. But when you're literally, sharing a yard with somebody and you're, you have multiple vehicles and you're just, stockpiling stuff to the point of, I don't see that as ridiculous or dumb. And asking someone now, out here, now, our trash cans are provided by the garbage company, and they have lids built on them, whatever. The truck comes by, arm picks it up, whatever. Before that, though, before they had that, I'm pretty sure it was a law that you needed to have a lid on your trash can, and that was mainly so animals didn't knock it over. Possums, raccoons, knock it over in the night. Even if dogs came along and found it, cats, whatever, and they just drug it down the street, tearing it apart, trying to get stuff out. Yeah, it happens, and that's kind of the point and reason being. None of that's really obscene. I mean, they make it kind of sound like, they're like, oh, hey, don't walk up to the bus stop and sit down with a bag of garbage. No, it's not really, I mean, as far as the main title goes. When you read into it, obviously, they're saying don't, have, a junkyard in your yard in the middle of town. No bueno. You're going to attract problems. Let's see. It is illegal to crash into obstacles on a ski slope. 5-5-3 skier duties, section D. Wow, that maybe this actually has some. I was thinking this might be a joke, but avoid obstacles. Each skier shall stay clear of snow grooming equipment, all vehicles, lift towers, signs, and any other equipment that the ski slopes and on the ski slopes and trails. So, really, I mean, like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't ski. If I was to go out there for the first time, the big reason why I don't ski is I could picture myself quickly hitting one of those objects, not being able to control myself. To say that it's illegal to have an accident, get the fuck out of here. That's stupid. That is ignorant. That is dumb. Residents may not own chickens, but they may own up to 3 turkeys. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. That doesn't make sense. I don't know if there's any, legitimacy to that, but that sounds dumb as hell. Why would you be able to have turkeys but not chickens? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a tuberculosis reason. I don't know. Fuck. Couches may not be placed on outside porches. Sounds ridiculous enough. Outdoor furniture restriction. No person shall place, use, keep, store, or maintain any upholstered furniture not manufactured for outdoor use, including, without limitations, upholstered chairs, upholstered couches, and mattresses in any outside areas located in the following places: in any front yard, in any side yard, in any rear yard or other yard that is adjacent to a public street. However, the alley shall not be considered a public street for the purpose of this subsection, or on any covered or uncovered porch located in or adjacent to any of the yards described in paragraphs 1 through 3 above. So they're basically telling you that you can't have a fucking couch on your porch. Okay, like the mattress, I get that. That kind of falls into the whole junk thing, leaving junk around. You shouldn't be like having a mattress just fucking sitting upside your house, for days in, days out. I don't know. That's junk. Okay, that's trash. If it rains, weather, you shouldn't be using it still. I'm just saying. But I find it absolutely fucking stupid. It is dumb for them for even a second to say you can't have a couch or a chair on your fucking porch anywhere because if it's upholstered. Even if you have a glassed in, I mean, what's it matter? It doesn't matter if it's closed in or not. Personally, myself, yeah, I would want mine closed in. I mean, like glass, roof cover, make sure that weather doesn't get to it. But it's not yours. What do you care? What do you care? That is a dumbass law. It feels like something they just kind of like sewed in there just to be like, one more reason we can give you a ticket. That's exactly what it is. Boulders may not be rolled on city property. Okay, rolling or throwing rocks on public property. No person shall roll, throw, or otherwise move any rocks, boulders on any public property. But this section does not apply to city employee acting with the scope of their employment. Okay, within the scope of their employment. So, you can't kick a rock down the road in this town, in this city. It's not a state law, obviously, but clearly you're not even allowed as much to kick a fucking rock down the road. I don't know. When I was a kid, that's kind of how I made time pass whenever I had to walk places. You just kick the rock, keep your eye on the rock. Get up a little bit closer, kick it again, keep it going. Makes time go quicker whenever you run, but apparently here you'll get fucking locked in jail for being a public nuisance or some bullshit. It is illegal to permit one's llama to graze on city property. Y'all got a lot of llamas out there in Cali? Okay. Grazing on public property. No person shall knowingly cause or permit. Okay, apparently we got more of that. No person shall knowingly cause or permit any domesticated animal that such person owns, possesses, controls, including without limitation cows, goats, llamas, burros, mules, horses, pigs, or sheep, to graze, pasture, or run at large on, or to be driven or herded within any property belonging to the city under the possession and control of the city, except pursuant to a written permit from the city manager. That sounds like a very old law. Like, whatever town it's in, I'm pretty sure that it probably, who knows, if it is in a really rural area, it's very possible that is still a existing law. But that's because they don't want people running. I imagine there's reasons behind that. If it's like Denver, Colorado, yeah, I can see that being a dumbass law. Catapults may not be fired at buildings. It sounds familiar. Unlawful to throw stones, snowballs, or discharge. Yeah, okay, we already read that. Thank you very much. I don't like repeaters. That's not cool. Establishments which sell alcohol must not. Yeah, okay. Establishments which sell alcohol must have enough lighting to read text inside of them. Lighting, all licenses under this chapter shall be required to maintain a level of light within the licensed premises which would permit the checking of identification materials without resort to other lighting. So basically the law really is don't use a flashlight. Make sure you have enough light to where the person checking IDs doesn't need to have the... What if the light is just like, make sure they got a brighter left light around the cashier register or at the bar to where they can see there. The rest of the bar is dark. I guess, well, at the same time, I guess if you have a waiting staff going out to the floor, then they would need... I don't know. But shouldn't you have someone at the door checking ID anyways? Aha. So, can that person not have a flashlight? Is that against the rules? That's not okay? Fucking stupid. To own a dog over 3 months of age, one must obtain a license. Like a dog tag? Any person owning, keeping, harboring, if you're harboring a dog, harboring or having custody of any dog or potbelly pig as well, over 3 months of age within the city must obtain a license as provided in this article. Application for a license must be made within 30 days after obtaining a dog or potbelly pig over 3 months of age. Within 30 days after such dog or potbelly pig is brought into the city, or within 30 days after such dog or potbelly pig reaches 3 months of age, except this requirement will not apply to non-residents keeping a dog or potbelly pig within the city for no longer than 60 days. I guess after 60 days, you got to get the license. It's weird. It's just they fucking wrap potbelly pig in there, too. I mean, I know people will have them as pets. I get it. Just kind of weird. No cats, though. No cats. Just dog and pigs, apparently. Keeping a house. Really all that is another way for them to tax you, just to get a little bit more money out of you. Keeping a house where unmarried persons are allowed to have sex is prohibited. There's a religious law. Bawdy houses. Bawdy houses. What? No bawdy house. House of ill fame. House of assassination. Or the place for the practice of fornication or commonly ill-governed or disorderly house shall be kept or maintained within the city limits of the city or within 3 miles of outer boundaries. It shall be unlawful for any person to keep any such house or be an inmate thereof. Oh, I'm sorry, what the hell is a bawdy house? I'm at a loss on that one. I don't know what a bawdy house is, so forgive me. Honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind is like a brothel. But honestly, let's be real here. That sounds like somebody had a stroke while fucking writing it. What the shit? House of ill fame, house of assassination, or the place for the practice of fortification or commonly ill-governed or disorderly house. What the fuck? It's just like at that point rambling. Weird. Definitely dumb. Just, I don't know in how many different facets it's dumb. I can't explain that. It is illegal to ride a horse while under the influence. What do you get for that? An RUI? I'm just curious. Do you get an RUI? I mean, because I don't think you get a DUI. I mean, maybe if like the horse is pulling a wagon, then I could see a DUI because you're pulling a cart. But like if it's just I don't know. I'm curious. I am curious to know what the hell the penalty is of that. One may not mutilate a rock in a state park. I'm not even going to fucking read that because, first of all, if it's not common knowledge to you that any, defacing of any object in a freaking state or national park is completely illegal. You can't go break rocks. You can't go rip bark off trees. You can't go rip up bushes. You can't take leaves and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know about, I'll retract that. I don't know if you can pick up something that's already fallen to the ground. But, as far as, actually destroying something, or taking something out, that's a no. There's a reason why it's preserved, why it's, it's protected. And, if you got jackasses running out there and, just, throwing rocks or whatever, launching missiles and, fucking whatever else, But no, I mean, that one's pretty basic. I mean, how is that not common knowledge of you're not allowed to deface things in a park, in a national or state park? You're not allowed to do it in most places, period, let alone a fucking, a federally preserved piece of land. Of course not. Cats may not run loose without having been fit with a taillight. It's about as fucking clever as the latter. No, that's worse. A taillight. And I've seen that shit too. I think we've all seen that shit, or at least we've seen those little those gems to cover up their asses. But so maybe there's taillights too for your cat. Neat. It is illegal to it's illegal to let dandelions grow within the city limits. You know what? That one's actually pretty plausible. As far as that being a legitimate law. I mean, it was only a couple of years or so ago, maybe, that I did a review of a law out of an incident actually out of I believe it might have been St. Charles in Missouri, but it was about a couple because the city was giving them fines and giving them a hell of a time, all over their grass, the type of grass they were growing in their yard. The wife didn't want to grow the grass the city wanted them to grow, or the county wanted them to grow, because she was allergic to it. So they were fining her because she wouldn't grow the stuff that she's allergic to in her yard. I mean, dumb shit. Absolutely. So yeah, I could see them being like, oh, you got a dandelion. Granted, most likely that law is actually saying something like the overgrowth of your yard to where there's weeds visible, from, a street or something like that. I mean, I could see that, where the overgrowth is, yeah, you let your yard get so tall in city, in town, they're going to hit you with a ticket and tell you to mow it. I don't know. I mean, do I think it sucks that there has to be a fucking law like that? Absolutely. It's dumb that you just can't manage yourself enough to go out and mow the fucking yard once every 2 weeks. Shit, you don't even do it every week. Just once every 2 weeks. I don't see how that's so much a dumb law. It is illegal for a man to kiss a woman while she is asleep. Okay. Let's take this by a scenario here. If your significant other is sleeping and you're on your way out, on your way to school, on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, and they're asleep and you just want to give them a little kiss goodbye before you leave, an affectionate kiss, that's not illegal, I guarantee you that, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. That, however, that law, I'm going to say that pertains more to the level of I don't know, if you sneak into someone's house, break in, B&E, and then you creep up on them and you start kissing on them in their sleep, that's just one more charge for your sexual assault. I mean, it's breaking and entering, sexual assault, kissing while asleep. It makes sense. It sounds like it's just one more thing that they can tack at you if you were to do something like that. And I mean, that's my theoretical explanation of what that's about, but it is illegal to go in public dressed in clothes unbecoming on one's sex. See, I'm going to say that means you can't cross-dress. In the sense of if you're a guy, you're not allowed to dress like a woman. If you're a woman, you're not allowed to dress like a guy. Oh wait, so actually according to that, you would kind of go with women aren't allowed to wear blue jeans almost, because it's not becoming of one sex. Now that fucking probably made in 1875? Yeah, probably. The dog catcher must notify dogs of impounding by posting for 3 consecutive days a notice on a tree in the city park and along a public road running through said park. Wait a minute. The dog catcher must notify dogs. Did they really write it like that, or is just this person dumb? I mean, what do you write that in? Barkanese? What is it? It is illegal to mistreat rats in Denver, Colorado. Are any of us really surprised that there's a law in place to not to mistreat politicians in Denver? I'm not. I'm not surprised at all. It is unlawful to lend your vacuum cleaner to your next door neighbor. Well, don't do that shit. They're probably going to put their dick in it or something, man. I mean, if they got one. If not, God knows where else it's going. Do you really want that coming back? You're going to be like, what is that smell in my house while I'm trying to vacuum every time? The house, it doesn't smell clean anymore. It has this odor every time I run the vacuum cleaner. That's what's going to happen. Don't lend your fucking vacuum cleaner to anybody. Who the fuck is doing that? Hey, can I borrow your vacuum? No, seriously, who the fuck is... Hey, can I borrow your vacuum real quick? I want to go clean my house. I mean, of all the things, sugar, lawnmowers, tools, whatever, I have never had anybody say, hey, do you mind if I borrow your vacuum cleaner for about an hour? I'll bring it right back. You may not drive a black car on Sundays. Why? Why? Oh, you know what? First of all, it's a Sunday law. Second of all, probably like funeral processions, I'm going to presume. Although, I guess, bummer for you if you have a black car on a Sunday in whatever township that's in. I guarantee that's a township thing. It is illegal to bring your horse or pack mule above the ground floor of any building. Look, I understand that, like, horse theft, mule theft, was a very serious thing back in the day because that was how you got around. And it was a means of survival, actually. I mean, was there a lot of people like, come on, Betsy, or I don't know, what's a good mule name? Hee Haw, come on, Hee Haw, get up these steps. I mean, do they even like ascend steps very well? I've seen this in clips and movies, and they don't look like they do too well. And that's usually with a team of people trying to work at it. It is permissible to wear a holstered 6-gun within the city limits, except on Sunday, Election Day, or holidays. Sunday law. Election Day, again, I told you, they have that law where you can't, like, mistreat the rats or whatever. Politicians, whatever. Car dealers may not show their cars on Sundays, another Sunday law. And by the way, the holidays is probably due to alcoholic consumption. So you're not supposed to have your... But hey, according to that too, by the way, let's go back to that real quick. You don't even need a permit. I don't know if you actually need a concealed carry 100% off the top of my head or not in Cali. Grave Burner could probably tell me that. But definitely, yeah, that's probably what the holidays is about. Alcohol consumption, intoxication, and misjudgment while carrying a loaded firearm. Happens. Car dealers may not show cars on a Sunday, so that's probably, I guess, why they're closed. I don't know if dealers are still closed. Are they? Yeah, I think they are still closed every Sunday. I wonder if they do that because they just take advantage of the fact of they don't want to work on Sundays, or... Actually, that doesn't sound right. No, that doesn't sound right at all. You would think they'd actually be open because people would be off work and they'd have great... So yeah, I guess the dealership's closed on Sunday, huh? Another Sunday law. Okay, stay strong. Religion's a big motivator for a lot of these laws that we come across. It is illegal for liquor stores to sell food or grocery stores to sell alcohol except beer that is at most 3.2 alcohol percent. County, maybe? I'd be fucking mind blown if that was an actual, like, a state statute. County at most. County at most. It kind of almost just feels like a city law, to be honest. No liquor may be sold on Sundays or election days. Now that's repealed, but yeah, again, another Sunday law. I think what's that, our fourth one? I don't know. It's like our third or fourth one. We've getting plenty of Sunday laws here. It is illegal to write, and by the way, always keep in mind when I point out a Sunday law, the separation of religion and state. It is illegal to ride a horse while under the it is, what the fuck? We just read that one on like the last page. What the hell? Tags may be ripped off of pillows and mattresses. Of course they can. No one's coming after you. Who the fuck is coming to your door like, excuse me, we're here to check your pillow and mattress tags. Just normal, random, routine government survey, making sure that your tags are on you. No one gives a fuck. Throwing missiles at cars is okay. We're going to repeat another law. So with that being said, everybody, that was Colorado. Had a lot of dumbass laws in there, and actually a number of them that were actually plausible and believable and actually were very well likely to be true. And yet, absolutely 100%, so many of them were dumb. There was a few, though, that I'd say that definitely were not dumb, that made sense. I mean, come on, don't pee and poop on the damn street, for crying out. We're adults here. Even the ones that are not adults. Come on, knock it off. I mean, if you're not 2 or 5 at most, whatever, then you have no excuse. Freaking, I don't know, junk in your yard. Again, I just don't see that as much as a really dumb law whenever it's like, if it's that abundant to where, like, the city is like, hey, you gonna do something about all that stuff, or are you just gonna, like, slowly start taking over Mary's yard? That's kind of what happens. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I'm Grave Knives. From the grave to the grave. As always, take care, and I'll see you later.